Hello everyone, this is Camille speaking, and I will talk about a little bit the collection I was working on during this week. And the name of the collection is Construction Paradise. So the collection was developed inspired by the contracts between nature and cities, basically. And the purpose is actually to bring attention to this context and kind of it's kind of duality, the reality that we live in, which is the organic and the construction and cities and nature. And the way I perceived this, it was during my in the very first weeks when during my walks. I live in Sydney now, and while I was looking for inspiration in nature and flowers and leaves, botanicals in general, I observed that I was also very intrigued by the city itself and the lines of cities and the lines of the parks. And, it started like that, and also became something that I started to connect to and get inspiration from Burle Marx, which is a Brazilian landscape architect, and also Atos Bucano, which is an artist and designer that designed tiles and it was quite famous in Brazil. So connecting all these thoughts together, I named Construction Paradise to bring this kind of irony in the name of something that is a paradise, like something that is imagined like as natural and organic as can be, but also in this collection is pictures as something very controlled and very geometric, almost like very manipulated as the grids of the cities and the grids of where we live. And this is my final mood board. As you can see, there's lots of references of these contracts of city in nature. And that's a few zoom in pictures because I also was very intrigued about the geometry inside of inside of nature itself. And it was something that I chose to focus on. And there are two pictures here, which I think they are quite interesting for this collection, which is this one here, which shows this contrast between the grids of cities and very square and rectangles. And you can see all very plain. And even though there's a very defined line between nature and city there, then you have like the contrast of the organic, of the flowing nature. And there's also this one, which is actually from Rio de Janeiro, which is the sidewalks that was created by Burle Marx, and the lines, the flows, and how he would also take his inspiration from nature to create those designs. So talking a little bit about the collection. So here we have like 4 different prints, but I designed actually here like 6 different styles, but 2 of them, which are the 2 of the top, I only played with colors and to see what I would get from them and how different it would be. So the 2 from the top right were the 2 that had a little bit more difference and between the colors and contrast, as you can see. And the 2 from the left, they kind of like blend in because I chose 2 colors which had like a very low contrast to make this color, it's kind of like a play with. So the first one with the 2 colors options I called Palm Tile. And just so you know, all the samples that were developed for this collection, they all were printed, hand printed in textile. So 55% cotton, 45% linen. And they were printed with acrylics using textile medium. This second one, which I called canoa, which is Portuguese for boat, because this kind of like a squarey palm that I design and draw, kind of like it reminds me a little bit of like a boat or canoe looking from the top. And as you can see, it really blends in. You can barely see the difference between the colors because it's pretty much the same. And it ended up like being pretty much the same design because of the low contrast. This third one I called Bullet, and I'm sorry, but I don't think my scan shows the accurate colors that I used in this textile, neither the picture itself. But I call it Bullet exactly inspired by Bullet Max, and I think because it really looks like a sidewalk somehow, the way that the leaves are square and there's like this kind of rounded shape as well. So it seems like something that could be also a landscape. And the last one is called Azul, which is blue in Portuguese. And this one, as you can see from the right, on the right of this picture of the repetition that I did, so we can see how it would be in printed in a textile. It was the only one that I didn't pay 100% full attention on the repetition, how that would go, because I wanted to play a little bit more free-handed with it. So instead of having like a design that I developed like really well developed and thought all the details beforehand, I actually did this one as I was going with, the flow. And end up that I really liked it. Is actually one of my favorites, but because it was very free-handed, the repetition is not 100% accurate. But I really like, printing this one. And this is the collection that I developed, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.